Sisters on a mission, are you paying attention? It's a place to be honest, without judgment or strife. Agreeing to disagree while being in unity.
And we're doing it all in the name of our King.
She's wearing high heels on, sneaker loving, dresses flowing.
We're different, but we're all the same.
Whoa.
Like lionesses.
Okay. So we have a very special guest today with us. Make some noise for Jennifer Lucy Tyler. Also known as Mrs. Tyler. Also known as Jenny Lou. Also known as the Purpose Doctor.
Just Jenny.
Also, Jenny.
Just Jenny.
Come on. Yes, we have her here today to talk about missions. Missions work. Is it out of style? Is it played out in 2015? What does it look like in 2015? You know what I'm saying? I went on my first missions trip this year. I'm 40 years old. Can I get some love?
Yes.
Good
Yes.
And I went on my first missions trip to Guatemala because of this young lady. She encouraged me to step out on faith and try something
We had a
different.
good time too.
We had a good old time, and so we just want to talk about that today. Just stepping out on faith, doing some different things for the body of Christ and for the kingdom,
Yes.
including missions work. What is that? What is missions work in 2015 look like?
Well, it definitely doesn't look like what I thought it initially looked like when we thought of missionaries back in the old church. You know, you thought it was an old woman who just sat with a white dress on, a nurse's outfit, and the white socks, and she just has missionary
Peace Corps.
bags.
That's what I thought of. Peace Corps.
Peace Corps
Peace Corps.
and all of those different things. But in 2015, missions is very much needed, and there are a lot of people that are stepping out in faith. And basically, what it is just going to share the gospel. And whether you're doing it in the four corners of your block, or God calls you to the four corners of the world, it's just going somewhere and just serving others and being the hands and feet of Jesus. That's how I describe missions.
Wow. So you did something really funny. You did something really funny on social media a couple weeks ago. You did a top 5 reasons. Was it 5?
Yep, 5.
The top 5 reasons why, or something that
Top 5 things not to say to a missionary when they return back to the field.
It was hilarious.
I want to hear it.
Right.
Share.
It was hilarious. Go ahead, run down the list. Run down. Do you remember?
I think I remember. One was, how many people did you save?
Ooh.
Oh,
that
okay.
one was one I didn't want to hear. Then another was, why do you have to go all the way over there when people need help right where you are?
Especially in certain parts of the United States.
Yeah. And so there's a reason why I had all of these, and I went into greater depth as to why you don't say those things. And I forgot the other ones, but those are
Those were good. Who's been on a mission trip in this?
Can we say kind of?
What is that?
I'm a kind of.
I went through all the training to go to Italy, and got pregnant, and ended up staying home. So I got all the training, but I never made it. So kinda.
So you ain't been on a mission trip.
You got the training, which is good.
I did.
It'll serve you well later.
Thank you.
So you've been, where have you been?
I've been to Jamaica and Cuba.
Ooh, Jamaica.
And different different parts of the United States. Yeah, they have a dream center in Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah?
over there. Yeah,
Mhm.
you been there?
That's a plan to go in the near
amazing.
future. I've
Amazing.
heard. Yeah.
Wait a minute, so you've been to how many places this year alone for missions?
Nepal, India, and Guatemala.
And coming soon is something else, right?
Coming soon is I'm going back. Oh, I went to Thailand too.
This year.
Yes.
Wow,
That's, wait a minute.
that's amazing.
Or no, Thailand was the end of last year. I'm sorry, they
Wow.
all run together. I get really confused, guys. I'm sorry. So no, because I don't want to lie and they be like, she lying. No.
Do you think the whole domestic missions thing is a lesser need? Or, you know what I mean?
Absolutely not. I mean, we could just turn on the news and see that
Right.
we need people who are being the hands and feet of Jesus
Yeah.
right where we live in
Yeah.
our neighborhoods and in our communities.
Right.
But I don't think that there should be a comparison, so to speak. Like, oh yeah, I do missions internationally, so I'm like, ooh, or yeah, or I do missions domestically. I think they're both equally needed. Just like in the body of Christ, we all have different roles,
Yeah.
period. You know, you have the head, the arms, the hand.
Right.
And so I think if everyone just focuses on their specific role, then we could all be the hands and feet of
Right.
Christ and just
Right.
meet needs wherever.
I think some people are suspect, especially when you go on a missions trip to Jamaica.
Honey, I'm about to book a flight right now.
Y'all
Y'all
not.
not.
Wait a minute.
Y'all
Say
not.
the people on the beach. There is a God there. You hear me? Jesus is real as I step in this water. He is real.
So I can't go on a mission trip to Fiji.
I think there's some. Do you find that people have misconceptions about where you're supposed to go? Like you're only supposed to go where the destitute
To the bush
or
in
the
Africa.
Thank
Or-
you. Do you find that that's something? Is that like a stereotype that you have to break?
Yeah, it definitely is a stereotype because, like, you were going to Italy to do missions.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. There you go. That's different. Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, and you know, people need Jesus everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so there are places where people feel more called to a particular land, whether it's Africa or whether it's Asia. And I just feel like if people are just obeying what God is telling them to do, then
Yeah.
let them stay in their lane. And
Exactly.
if God says, hey, I want you to go to Jamaica, then that should be okay.
It comes off kind of looking like you're on a vacation to people. You know what I
You
mean?
gotta
Well,
understand
that's-
too that like in Jamaica they've got so much tourism, so that's really the center of their economy there, and so they send all of their sickly and their elderly inland. You know, so if you go inland, you'll find hospices and disability centers and stuff like that, and they're just kind of left there.
Right.
You know, if you are an orphan child, they don't want tourists to see that. You have
Right.
to understand. So they're
Oh,
very
gotcha.
much about get rid of them, let's push them, you know, under the rug there. So, and Cuba's a communist country,
Yeah.
you know, so they're very, very oppressed. So a lot of the work that we were doing there was addressing those issues that are really specific to those countries.
That's awesome.
You know, a lot of people think it can appear as though you're on a vacation, especially if you show things on social
The
media.
highlights.
And the reason why is because, like, I equate it to this: when you're working a 9-to-5 job, right? You more than likely you're not posting pictures of yourself doing the work day.
The
While
grind
you're in
work.
the grind and
Right,
you're working,
right.
and you're doing that report for your boss or whatever,
Yeah.
you're not posting pictures. But the pictures that you do share are going to be
Happy.
those happy fun moments
Right.
where you're with your friends on the weekend,
Right.
you're visiting different sites.
Yeah.
It's the same with missions. Like,
Yeah.
if I'm in the middle of laying hands and praying with someone, I'm not like, hold on, stop, wait, let me take a selfie, right? Like, they need to see this ministry
Right, right,
moment.
right.
Now,
Yeah.
sometimes you'll have photographers or people on the field, and they may capture certain things to send back to your donors because your donors or sponsors
They gave money.
may
for
want to
this,
see
right.
that. But, you know, a lot of the ministry that I've done, like, if I'm in a red light district, I'm not snapping pictures with the women
What's
there.
the
Like,
red
Right.
light district? For the people who don't know out there.
Um,
Talk about it.
Did you?
Talk about it.
She took a deep breath.
Well,
Red light district.
Well, the red light district that I've served in was in Thailand, and
Wow.
women there are working there on a sex trade, in the sex trade.
Wow.
Some of them have been trafficked, and some are just there actually by choice due to poverty. And this is the way that they know of to make money and to be able to send it back home to their families. So in the red light district, that is the place where a lot of tourists come, and they're usually attracted by the different shops that are around the red light district, but they're often lured into the different bars. And then once they get lured into the bars, it's like everything goes on
And
from
you
there.
go in the bars too.
Yes, I've been in the bars. I don't like going in the bars, but I've been in. Yeah. You can
As
do
part
a-
of the ministry, though, you have to kind of get your hands in.
Yeah.
Dirty.
Yeah, but you can also do some great ministry. I do a lot of prayer walking in that area
Wow,
and
I
have
like
been
that.
doing a lot outside of the bars, and God moves just as much outside than going inside.
How do we as believers go about going into somebody else's land? You know, like Thailand, I don't know if it's a Christian nation or not, but I know they have, I think it's like, what, Buddhist?
It's predominantly Buddhist.
Right, so it's like,
1% Christian.
really?
That's it.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. That's crazy.
Do they have high Christian persecution there, or not really?
Not really in Thailand,
Okay, just
because it's a little more free to worship how
You choose.
Yeah, how you choose.
But I've just heard about, you know, people saying it comes off like we're always trying to be, you know, trying to go and transform and change people from, you know, what they know, and even though that's what we're supposed to do, you know. But do you think that that's typical of these outlands and places that you go, especially when it's not a Christian nation?
I don't really get that feel, and I think it's all in how you approach it, you know, and if your heart is right to generally just, when I say be the hands and feet of Jesus, building relationships, loving up on individuals. Like, we don't go there and, you know, just burst in their church and here's my Bible and, you know, and this is what you're gonna believe, you know, like, you know, just busting in, repent, you know. And so it's more of, you know, we've done a lot of building relationships. We have conversations. I've talked to people about what they believe and different things of that nature. And a lot of times what ends up happening through that relationship being built, they are more open to hearing what you have to say. And then, you know, we're supposed to preach the gospel, but then with signs following. So I always say, like, my prayer is that when we go somewhere, like if I pray for someone, I want to see some miracles happen. I want to see something, because then they're like, whoa, and you could just point it right back to Jesus.
Right.
And that opens the door.
That's right.
I think your sentiment is, I'm not sure, and I'm not going to speak on your behalf. She can speak on it, because most of the time when I hear that sentiment, it's white Westerners with the American version of Christianity. You know what I'm saying?
In terms of
just the West coming in to save the rest of the world. So you have these people who are very privileged and educated, and they're helping the poor, savage barbarians.
That's the perception.
Yeah. I don't think, you know, as people of color, we get accused of that as much.
But,
in my experience.
But people of color are not even really known for really doing missions.
That's true too.
Yeah, I mean, so that's a whole nother ball of wax, you know.
Right.
And that's part of my passion. I just want to see more of us out there on the field. So many times I'm on the field and I'm the only
Why do you think
black,
that is?
black woman. I think it goes back to just culturally, like in the black church, we often just had to take care of ourselves and our neighborhoods and different things of that nature. And I think it's just something that we've just done over the years culturally that has just stuck with us. It's like we're more like, okay, we're gonna take care of, if all of ours is cool, we good, but we're not gonna reach out to this other community because it's like, hey, we have to take care of ourselves.
Plus,
so
it
no
seems
one
so
will
far
stand
away.
for us.
It's so unattainable.
Expensive.
Yeah, it is expensive.
It's very
Oh my
expensive.
goodness.
So living missionally, because you use that term a lot.
Yes.
What does that actually mean?
Living missionally is doing the work of a missionary and evangelist every day. Just being being intentional. I always say being intentional about loving people, building relationships, and being the hands and feet of Jesus.
Not just on a mission trip.
Not just on a mission trip. So, you know, I could go to a restaurant outside and my husband and I are having dinner and we just, intentionally try to get to know the waitress and have a conversation with her and just see what God has us to do on her behalf.
So you have to be a social person to live mission.
Yeah, you gotta kind of open your mouth.
So you gotta be
Talk
social or whatever. So if I'm not
Introverts.
social, I can't live missionally.
I think you can. I've seen it come out of you.
I'm messing with you.
That's true. And my husband and I, like, we have a team and we consider ourselves to be American missionaries. And we get that a lot. Like, whenever we're kind of casting the vision, it's like, okay, missionaries, they go into a country, they really look at the statistics, the economy, the cultural, they study those things and they say, okay, how can we strategically come and really bring a difference? Am I right?
Right.
You know, it's like, why don't we look at our country that way? And we get a lot of those comments like, yeah, thank you. Why are we going over to the other side of the world when we need people? And it's like, if God calls you to Russia or Africa, you better not stay in America.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it's all about what God calls you to do.
Absolutely.
So, and we actually announced that we're doing a missions trip because, like, if God's calling you to that, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Like, get used to the fact that God may ask you to do something like that.
My church
you know?
actually, they just went to West Virginia. I didn't go on. Oh Lord,
Trying to
That
save
was
you.
something.
Yeah.
They need Jesus.
Yeah, well, actually, is that the Appalachian?
The Appalachia.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you.
Yeah.
Is that West Virginia?
Yes, well, it spans over a couple of
To
states
Virginia.
actually.
Okay, so I
but
could have been wrong.
No, but it does, it is.
But
West
they were
Virginia,
like, that's
Tennessee.
one of the most
Yeah.
poverty-stricken
It is.
areas in the
Wow.
United States.
I think it is
Wow.
the most. I don't think it's one of. I think it's number one.
Yeah, they said
wow.
that.
Yeah, I think it's
I didn't want to overstate, but that's
Yeah,
what they
I
said.
believe it's number
Wow.
one.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my church actually went maybe about 2 months ago.
But why is the thought that
Wow.
poor people need Jesus? What about the rich folks like Jennifer?
Ooh.
She like what?
I agree.
That's
why
why
we assume that
Yes.
just because they're poor, they don't know Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That is
It's
good.
good. That's good.
Yeah.
We gonna have to get back. It's like,
Another topic, another show.
that's actually good.
But that's why we need people living missionally.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Amen.
so like you need someone living
Amen.
missionally amongst the celebrities
There
who
you
are
go.
doing the hair and makeup,
Amen.
all of that,
Yes,
like
yes.
in whatever environment, being intentional.
Not to be kind of like weird, but like the Lord had me just kind of go on a drive, and I kept driving and driving, and it was like keep on going, and the houses kept getting bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden there were like these mansions, and then I just stopped because I was like, I don't know where you wanted me to go, God. Like, you know, I thought I was going to the
Here I
field or
am,
something.
Lord, send me. Send me.
And he was like, where am I? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, what about these people? And I was like, they seem fine to me.
Yeah, that too.
Wow.
And he was like, but what about the homes? What is going on in those homes? Where am I there? And I was like, God, oh wow, okay.
Yeah,
So it's so true.
So true.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to be clear that because growing up for me, I thought the same thing. You know, the missionary looked a particular way, and they did a particular thing. They went somewhere and did X, Y, and Z. But honestly, being missional, is that what you call
Yes.
it? Living
Living
missionally,
missionally.
That's
it's
good.
really just making sure that you're tuned into the voice of God, so that at any moment when He speaks to you, you can act on His behalf.
Yes.
Like you said, the restaurant,
Yeah.
or you're in your
Right,
car and
right,
you
yeah.
just happen to drive,
Right,
or your
right.
church decides to take a trip. You don't have to be a specific kind of
That's
thing or dress a certain way.
Yeah.
You just are open to the voice of God. Whatever
Boom.
He tells you to do,
Yeah.
that's what you do. If it's give somebody the shirt off, the jacket off your back.
The
Don't-
shoes.
Don't be
The
shirtless.
shoes.
Or the shoes.
shoes.
You're missional today.
Don't be shirtless.
Jesus will not have you in the street shirt. But you know, or if you just feel compelled to give somebody some money or pay for somebody's food, you just
Yes.
never know how you will bless
Right.
somebody.
Change the course
The very
of their
little
life.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Absolutely.
beautiful. Oh my God.
You know, I try to know Jesus.
Oh my
I try to be